Hey guys, welcome back to KSG. Welcome if it's your first time here. Um, this is going to be a different video. It's going to be another of our kind of talking nerdy series, I guess is a good way to put it. Today is February 23rd, 2024, and this is a video that I wanted to put out. I don't want to get too technical in it, but I think it's worth mentioning, and this sort of goes with the very early in this channel's history prepper communications video we put out. And it's really going to be kind of a piece of advice video of don't put your eggs all in one basket. Yesterday, at&t had a faulty software update, which is the official take, that caused a network outage for a very significant amount of people. Phones were in SOS mode. From what I saw firsthand, we couldn't send any kind of texts. A lot of stuff just failed to operate altogether. And for those of us in this community that want to be ready for something, it shouldn't be an issue. Now, I wasn't affected directly by it, and even if I was, I have backup options, and I'm going to actually discuss those. And I don't have any affiliation other than being a client of one of these apps, but I'm going to go ahead and suggest it anyway for you. I'll just put it right out right now. There's no sense in waiting. I like to use Telegram, and Signal is also a good one. There are tons of other ones out there. So, setting the stage on this, for my day job, I teach a technology class. I had students coming in, and the ones that were on the at&t or its affiliate networks were wondering, hey, is there something wrong with the phone? There wasn't a lot of information out early in the morning on it. So a lot of people just woke up to not being able to communicate. Now, some of my students are a little bit younger, and they were failing to communicate with their parents and things like that. And this was widespread. It wasn't just my students. So we took a short pause, and we had put out a quick little bit of information for anybody impacted by it, how they can use alternate means, how if you hooked up to the wireless network, or in most cases if you would just get on the computer, we opened up the use of things like Telegram and Signal. We also had mentioned to the students that they could use anything outside their normal messengers on their phone, which would include things like Life 360 and a lot of other programs, Facebook Messenger, and just a bunch of other alternate ways to communicate. And just the fact that a lot of people who were born into this technology don't know it, that leads me to believe there's an awful lot of us that are maybe a little more experienced in life that might not be familiar with it. So after an extremely wordy introduction here, let's just go ahead and move on to some solutions. This isn't going to be blood and guts. This isn't, oh, this problem and we're not getting hacked. Look, a lot of things can happen to our communications network. It's absolutely no secret that we're relying on it. And here's the talking nerdy portion. This is not your POTS line or plain old telephone system lines that we happen to be able to use off one of these nice little handsets. Modern communications is what's called voice over internet protocol. For those of us that are closer to my vintage, we've been around a while, the old POTS lines had what's universally regarded as a better sound for talking, but a lot less functionality. Voice over internet protocol means that we are literally using the internet to send our voice communications. So a good way to think about that, if you're not really familiar, is we're not using a phone service at all. We're using a voice version of like Messenger or a voice version of text in real time. So this is subject to a lot of different kinds of interference, and when we see large-scale network hacks, it can certainly impact the cellular network as well. Now, these devices that we all carry, this is our primary communication, guys. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you can download and put these different communications apps on, though, we can have a backup of using the standard Wi-Fi like what you have in your house for your communications if you use Signal, Telegram, Facebook Messenger, Life 360. These things do not require cellular network. Now, it's still your data network, your computer network, just like normal, but it's from a different provider. So let's bring this all back home to the readiness that this channel is all about. And guys, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So on my pocket computer, which is what these really are, I have my built-in text messenger. I also have Facebook Messenger, and I have Telegram. And if my regular messenger isn't working, the next one I jump to is Telegram, because everybody on my family is in Telegram. Um, at the end of this video, I'll explain the advantage of Telegram over another messenger, but that's for people that really want to know the difference. If you're just looking for a backup way to say, hey, I made it to work, or I'm going to be late, or pull something out for dinner, Facebook Messenger is absolutely fine backup, and you probably already have it. Um, the bottom line is have a different method to go. Something else you can do is you can actually get a Google phone number connected to your phone, and it can be the same region or a different region than your actual phone number. And you can use that to make phone calls over Wi-Fi or over your cellular network as well. This is probably the simplest method to have a backup way to call. Now, of course, in an example of a network outage, if your family's all on the same network, which many are, if you're down, they're down. So everybody would have to have that soft phone number, which is what that Google number would be called, in order to make a call. Likewise, you can't use Facebook Messenger to talk to somebody that doesn't have it. Same for Telegram, Signal, Life360, all of these. So here are the actionable items, because on this channel, I don't like to talk about problems. I like to talk about solutions. As of today, the networks are up, they are functioning, the app stores are open, and everyone is doing business. Today is a good day. It's the very best day next to a week ago for you to go ahead and settle on one of these, download Telegram, download Signal, Life360, whatever you want, whatever your level accepts, and get that going for you and your family, or at least the people that you need to communicate with. Just get it done, settle on one, and do it. If you're just using it as a simple backup, that's all you need to know. And for those of you that just want that simple backup and you're not looking for anything more, you don't care about the security implications or anything like that, that's fine. Thank you for tuning in. You can drop right here, because the rest of this will not be of much interest to you. Now, for those of you that are saying, okay, Joe, that's all well and good, but I don't like people getting nosy, and it's already nosy enough on my phone, so why am I having this backup? Why aren't we talking ham? Because we're not carrying ham radios, and those that we have to talk to at a distance probably aren't carrying them either. We're going to work, we're in an office or something similar. I mean, this is what we're doing. So let's talk about our options. First off, we have Life360. My children love this. I call it Stalker 360. I don't particularly like it. I don't really want something reporting my position. It just doesn't feel right to me. Next up is Facebook Messenger. It's Facebook, guys. If you've stuck around this far, I don't think I need to say a whole lot more. So let's talk for a second, because you guys have seen me flash the Android, and I'm not going to sit here and bag on iPhones or tell you to buy a Droid. I'm not even going to talk to you about Above Phone, which I'm not affiliated at all with, but if you really want to know privacy, just look up Above Phone. Another great resource, by the way, if you're even thinking about that, check out Jack Spirko's The Survival Process podcast. Go to tspaz.com. If you don't know who that is, you're welcome. I'm sorry, it's a big rabbit hole too. It's one worth doing, but if you're looking at something like that, and again, not affiliated at all, just a fan, check them out. You'll actually get a discount on things like this, but I digress. Let's get back on track. Let's make this useful for you guys, my guys here. All right. What I want is a way to talk to people that's going to be convenient, fast, and secure. Now, there's a lot of contenders that make the market. The two that rose to the top for me are Telegram and Signal. Now, we're here in the US, we have American-centric glasses on. I see red, white, and blue through these, because this is my world. To be honest, our world is not the rest of the world. We've enjoyed free text messages for about as long as cell phones have supported it. In Europe, this is not the case, and a lot of data-only text services like Telegram and Signal arose because of that. Now, they do have some advantages. I'm going to talk specifically about Telegram because it's what I use, but Signal offers the same type of things, at least in most cases. So This is by no means an exhaustive list. And if you care about the KSG endorsement, KSG endorses Telegram, and we have a channel on Telegram that is open to join. Telegram offers end-to-end encryption between Telegram users, and if you know what speaking nerdy is, great. Go ahead and grab a cup of coffee on this because I'm going to explain end-to-end encryption to those that are new to it. End-to-end encryption is where we take a plain text message like, "Hello, I'm fine, I have made it to work," and we convert it into a number, and then we take that number and we run it against some ludicrous level mathematician movie chaos theory problem on a blackboard, and it spits out a long line of gibberish at the end. But your other user knows the solution to that math problem, who you're sending that message to, so they apply a key to it, and that gibberish turns back into your message and they can read it. Wash, rinse, and repeat as they send it to you. This is end-to-end encryption in a nutshell. For my very technical users that stuck around, we know there's more to it. There's many different types, but this is a functional description of it, and it works. This keeps you more private than somebody else. Now, I like this. The second feature, we talked about convenience. Texting somebody is convenient. Telegram texts just like that. But we also have group chats in Telegram just like your SMS. Okay, wonderful. Something else we can do is we can make formal groups that people can be a part of and get the messages that they choose to get. So if I wanted to extrapolate for that, we could have a John Doe family emergency channel. And once a year on the founding anniversary of the channel, we say, "Hey everybody, say hello and make sure the channel is still up." And we get a bunch of hellos. And we only use it for emergencies. And that emergency could be the baby came early, I'm out of milk, whatever you define as an emergency. And that alert's going to come up on your phone. Just like a text message, of course, but what's the advantage to Telegram? You can also put Telegram on your tablet, on your desktop, or anything else. Imagine that you've got somebody who, maybe they're doing pay-as-you-go cell service in your group, and they're forgetful. Or they're a little bit younger, and they're like, "You know what, I'm going to go ahead and let it lapse because I really want to, I really want to buy this car, so I don't need a cell phone. I'm going to stick to wireless, and I can use my computer to communicate." Telegram comes right on your computer too. You don't miss a beat. We don't have to find a different messenger for them. It's right there. Also, if you go down to Telegram, you'll find a lot of like-minded preparedness type groups on there that have chats and stuff on there. And this can open the door to broadening your circle of people, so to speak, making your tribe a little bit bigger, and that's great. And again, I'm not bad-mouthing Signal on this. To my knowledge, Signal works about the same. I settled on Telegram years ago, and that's what we use. Another advantage here is that you've got that chat history in it, and you can kind of manipulate some settings. That it's kind of more of a vanity thing, not really something that we're going to worry about as an emergency communication. This, though, works so good that for certain things it's replaced my primary communication, and I just use Telegram. I actually prefer it. It's to the point where when I'm asking, when I'm meeting somebody new and I ask for contact information, I start to put it in Telegram. I'm like, "Oh, you're not on Telegram yet. Okay, let me put you in regular text." And eventually they come around to it. Now, if I've crossed into some of the people I suspect that listen to other like-minded information, you might be going, "Hey Joe, what about Nostr?" Okay, Nostr is king, but Nostr takes a significantly larger setup, and it's less likely that everybody in your group uses it. So for this discussion, we are stopping right there. We're talking about just a few alternatives. The final thing I want to talk about is using that soft phone number. When you get that VoIP number on Google, and there's other services too, but Google's the one that I'm familiar with. It's free as in free pizza, free beer if you're over 21, free. You connect it with your cell phone, and people can call it just like a line. So you can call a Google soft phone from a POTS line in a basement somewhere. You can call it from your cell phone. You can call it from another Google line. I like to think of it as a virtual phone. It has no idea that it's a VoIP phone. It doesn't know that it's your secondary line. It believes it's a real, living, functioning, up-to-date phone. So It's a great alternative, and you use it just like a regular phone. It will work over your cellular network, but it will also work over Wi-Fi. Just in case that you can't do a phone call over Wi-Fi on your phone for whatever reason, you can even do it over your computer if you have a microphone and speakers on it. This is also excellent for a laptop. So guys, let's do a final takeaway. This is way too much talking nerdy. Your final takeaway: as convenient and as reliable as text messaging has been, we saw a giant ripple on February 22nd of 2024. It was limited to AT&T. It was not nefarious as far as we know right now. Nothing was lost. Nothing was stolen. Nobody's in any kind of trouble. The world isn't ending, but we were disrupted. Workarounds for this are as simple as having an app that does not rely solely on cellular data in order to function. Facebook Messenger is a fine example, but if we want to get an app that's dedicated for it, that we have a little more control over, and that we can feel a little better about, and maybe even have a little bit more security tied to, we can look at apps like Telegram or Signal. WhatsApp is actually in this. I'm sorry I didn't mention that before. And these apps have a degree more security, and they do change, they evolve, so you have to stay on top of it, but they're easy to manage. And the other thing they have in common is that they are all free, and they support groups and everything else. As a final function, if you just want a backup voice line, a Google soft phone will work. The second thing that all of these have in common is they don't require you to install them just on a phone. They will work on your phone, your tablet, and your computer, and they will synchronize, and it's fairly simple to do so. If anybody wants me to make a demo video, I can show how we can link Telegram to a phone and a computer at the same time and have the same account on there. And as a shameless plug for the channel, KSG does have an open to join Telegram group. Honestly, there's not a lot going on in there, but if we get more users, we'll start putting some content out there. And that would be a great way for other people that watch this channel to put out their ideas and things like that as well. Because this is, at the end of the day, this is a form of community, and community must be two ways. So there we have the 10-cent tour of a great way to back up your communications without buying any more hardware. It's something you can do today, and it will put you in better shape. This could also fit in our 60 minutes to a better preparedness stance, 60 minutes to a more free lifestyle, whatever you want. If you like stuff like this, I highly encourage you to discover the Survival Podcast if you don't know already. Jack Spirko is a great guy, and I'm going to mention a couple of sponsors that he has that I've looked into, but full disclosure, I have not yet found a reason to use it because I'm playing with other things. There is the Above phone that I've mentioned here that gives you highly modified phones with custom operating systems on them that are dedicated to your privacy. He has another group called Start9 Servers where you can manage these messenger apps and things like that right from your home. This is also a great segue into Bitcoin if that is your stripe. Definitely want to do that. And guys, this video was not planned. This was not the one I had intended to make, but after the events of yesterday, I kind of felt compelled to do it. Go out now, spend the next 30 to 60 minutes and get yourself a backup communications plan. If you're looking for another option where you actually own the infrastructure and you're less reliant on it, may I direct you toward GMRS radios. KSG has a couple of very basic videos on it using very cheap radios. If you'd like to dive a little deeper, again, it's another YouTuber that I'm not affiliated with, but I can't recommend highly enough, and that is Not a Rubicon. Fantastic source of information. And then beyond that, of course, is ham. And guys, I'm going to come right out. I'm an all of the above kind of guy. I do not have my ham license, and at this juncture in my career, I'm working on a couple of other things before I do it, but I will be getting my ham license as well, because when it comes to reach on infrastructure you own, ham is king, except in cases where ham is king, and of course when ham is king. All right, with that, guys, this is KSG. Thanks for sticking around. I love talking nerdy to you. If you guys want more videos like this, please let me know. If you're interested in GMRS, alternate means of communication that even go simpler than cell phones that come all the way down to cipher codes and paper. Take a look back at some of our older videos. This is what we like to call evergreen content. The concept doesn't really change. Beyond that, I'm Joe. This has been KSG. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for sticking by during this dry period where I'm not making a lot of videos, and I'm hoping to be talking to you again soon.